Guys, this is Martha Reading Hedgehog with the second part of my July book haul. As I mentioned in my last video, I have hauled 59 books this month, and only 3 of those were given to me. In the first part, I showed the new releases I bought and the books that were given to me, as well as some other books that I bought that were new but not new releases of this month. In this half, I'm going to show you all the used books I bought. So, I put a order into Powell's City of Books because I could. I shouldn't have, but I did. And then I went up to Half Price Books for a day with my mom because we just felt like doing it. And they were having kind of a sale, so I ended up buying tons of books, and actually that's kind of what broke me. I was only supposed to get 12 books this month, and yeah, 59. So, I will show you the ones I got. So the first ones I'm going to show you are from my Powell's City of Books order. And the first one I got is The Seer of Shadows by Avi. I read this a long time ago, really liked it. I'm an Avi fan, I always have been since I was a kid, so whenever he has a new book, I always buy it. This is not really new anymore, but I didn't own it, so I bought it. It's historical fiction, kind of slash supernatural, about this guy who does spirit photographs, and this one kid goes and works for him and sees a spirit in one of his photographs, I think. And yeah. So it was really, really good. I remember really liking it, and I do intend on rereading it sometime and rewriting my review, because I reviewed this a long time ago before I even really knew how to write reviews. So yes, I bought this. It's good. Then I bought Heart of Glass by Sasha Gould. This is the sequel to Cross My Heart, and I think this is a duology for now. This ended to where it really seemed like there should be a third book. The author has not announced a third book yet, so I don't know yet, but this is historical fiction slash mystery. Takes place in Italy during the Renaissance, I believe, and I remember really, really liking it. I think actually this one was better than the first book, which doesn't happen often. The description made it sound like it had a love triangle, but it didn't, so I really liked it, and I do hope there's a third book, because it totally ends where it needs a third one. Then I bought Shakespeare's Spy by Gary Blackwood. This is the third book in the Shakespeare trilogy. I read this so long ago, and I do plan on buying the entire trilogy. I don't own the other two, and rereading them so I can review them, because I remember really liking this series. It's just a lot of fun. And then I got the entire Gemma Doyle trilogy by Libba Bray. So we have A Great and Terrible Beauty, Rebel Angels, don't know if you can see that, and The Sweet Far Thing. A Great and Terrible Beauty is the August read for my young adult Bibliobabble book club, so I bought it, and I decided to get the other two along with it because they were like $3 each, and I'm trying not to buy a series. I have to buy the entire series when I buy a new series, so I bought all 3 of them, and looking forward to starting this series, because I've heard really good things about it. So, the next books I'm going to show you are from Half Price Books, so this should be fun. So first one is The Incredible Charlotte Sycamore by Kate Madison. This was totally a faith buy. I read the synopsis, it sounded really cool, steampunkish, Victorian, historical fiction, middle grade, I think, maybe early teen. So I bought it because it was like $1. Got on Goodreads, was logging it into my shelf, found out that my friend Hazel had reviewed this book and hated it. And we generally agree on books. I think really kind of the only time we kind of disagree on books is when it comes to Alexander Dumas's books, but, you know, can't agree on everything. But she hated this, and I'm glad I didn't pay more than $1, and I am kind of looking forward / dreading reading this, because I know I'm more than likely going to agree with her, because again, we generally agree on most things when it comes to books. But, of course, I kind of hope that this will be one of the instances where we don't agree, because I spent money on it, and it does sound cool, and I love the cover, so, yeah, I hope we disagree on this in this one, Hazel, yeah. Next, I bought The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman, the third book in his Dark Materials trilogy. Read this a very long time ago, and I don't remember really what I thought about it, other than it was weird. But I do kind of want to finish the trilogy, reading the trilogy now, and I know the only way that's going to happen is if I own all the books. So I went ahead and bought this one because it was $1. Most of the books I got from half price books were like $1 to $3. So I bought it, and I'll probably get the other two before I start reading this trilogy. Then I bought Goblin Secrets by William Alexander. This is a middle grade book, and the first book in, I think, just the Goblin trilogy or something like that. I don't remember. I didn't know this was part of a series when I bought it. One of the people I follow, Jenny Sawyer, I think her channel's called Pick of the Week on YouTube. She really liked this book, and I've gotten a lot of good recommendations from her, so I thought I'd give this a try, because if she liked it, I'll probably like it too. That one almost dropped. The next one I got is The Book of Dead Days by Marcus Sedgwick. This is the first book in the Book of the Dead Days duology, I think it is. I've only read one of Marcus Sedgwick's books before, and I think it was Midwinter Blood. I didn't really care for it, but this one sounded really interesting, much more interesting than Midwinter Blood, and so, again, it was for $1, so I bought it. Not knowing it's part of a duology, but I can do duologies. Next, I bought Daughter of the Centaurs by Kate Climo. This is the first book in the Centauriad, I think, duology. I've read this one already, haven't read the second one, but I read this one and liked it. It's weird. Obviously I'll leave my link below, or my review below. It's really weird. It's kind of slow. The world doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but at the same time I kind of liked it. Mostly it was just weird. I am curious to see how the trilogy is going to continue. Then I bought Daniel Halfhuman and the Good Nazi by David Chodwitz. This book is so old. I read this so long ago, maybe when I was about 8 or 9. I remember really liking it. I mean, it takes place in Germany, obviously, about these two boys. One's half Jewish and the other isn't, and they're really, really, really good friends. They're like, they swore a blood oath when they were kids, and then World War II breaks out, and Daniel is marked as half Jew, and his friend, whose name I forget, becomes like the perfect Aryan boy, and yeah, it was just really interesting. I remember really, really liking it. I'm so glad I found this. Then I bought The Long Patrol by Brian Jacques. This is, I think, book 15 in the Redwall series. I'm slowly collecting these because I do want to read the Redwall series. And yeah, so I'm just collecting all of them so I can read them eventually. And I didn't have this one, so I bought it. Enough said. Next I have Homeless Bird by Gloria Whalen. I have not read this before, but I've read most of Gloria Whalen's books. So whenever I do find any of her books, I just buy them because I know it's going to be good. This one takes place in India. That's pretty much all I know about it. But yeah, Gloria Whalen just writes really nice books, and I love the size of her books. And so yeah, just bought it because I love Gloria Whalen. Then I bought Candide by Voltaire because it is a classic, and this copy is like illustrated. Yeah, this looks really nice. Candide actually is not one of my favorite classics. I guess it's kind of funny, but I didn't find it as witty as, like, say, Gulliver's Travels. I think that one has much more superior wit, and this is just kind of silly. College humor for the era, I guess you could call it. This kind of is the college humor of when it was written. But it was cheap, and it was a pretty copy, and it's a classic, so I bought it. Then I bought Skylark by Megan Spooner, the first book, and I think the Skylark trilogy is what it's called. I think this has been on my read list for a while. I don't remember. I did not know it was part of a trilogy when I bought it. I kind of figured it probably was, but it was cheap, it looked pretty, and it sounded interesting, so I got it. This is my excuse for buying all these books. It's probably not a good excuse. This is gonna be fun. Okay, next I bought The Quest Begins by Aaron Hunter, the first book in the Seekers series. I have never read any of Aaron Hunter's books, but I want to. Don't really know why, I just do. I feel like it's one of those things I need to do. But I know I'm never going to read them unless I own the books, so I started buying them because I could. They were there, and I had the money. And then I bought books 4 and 6 in the New Prophecy Warriors series, also by Aaron Hunter. So we have book 4, Starlight, and book 6, Sunset. This is one of the spin-off series for the Warrior series, for those of you who don't know. And then I have book 1, 2, and 5 of the Power of 3 spin-off Warrior series by Aaron Hunter. So, I'm looking to start. Book 1, The Sight, book 2, Dark River, and book 5, Long Shadows. I don't have any of the Warrior series, so I'm not going to be able to read these anytime soon, but I am going to go ahead and start collecting them if I continue to find them as cheap as I found these. Because I do want to read the series. It's a popular middle grade series. I really should read them, so I'm going to. Then I bought the first 2 books in the Land of Elyon series by Patrick Harmon. So we have book 1, The Dark Hills Divide, and book 2, Beyond the Valley of Thorns. This is one of these series that I don't know why I didn't read it when it first came out, because I think I would have liked them at the age when they came out. But they've been tentatively on my reading list, but not really. And then, Katrina at Little Book Owl, she read these recently and really liked them, and so I thought, hey, they probably are really good. I decided to add them to my list. Tree is also, they're just really cool looking. Next I have a Larklight by Philip Reeve. This is the first book in the Larklight trilogy, I think. This is science fiction steampunk. It takes place in space, but it's steampunk. This has been on my list to read for a long time, and I found it for cheap, so I bought it. And yeah, it just looks really cool. It's middle grade. It looks fun. Let me grab a few more here. I'll just grab the entire stack. Then I have Cleopatra, the 7th Daughter of the Nile by Christiana Gregory. This is one of the books in the Royal Diaries series. And like Dinotopia, 39 Clues, Once Upon a Time, and Dear America, I'm just collecting this series because I should and I can. Because I like collecting series. And then I have Inside the Shadow City by Kirsten Miller. This is the first book in the Kiki Strike series trilogy. I have the first one, or the second one. I need to get the third one now, but I read this a long time ago, remember liking it. It's kind of hard a series to explain, but it's not as hokey as it looks. It's just really, I remember liking it. So that almost completes the series that I own. Then I have The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Again, it was a classic, it was cheap. I'm collecting classics, and this just kind of looks cool, so I got it. Then I have The House of Dead Maids by Claire B. Dunkel. I have not read this before. I had it checked out from the library for a while, didn't get a chance to read it, but it sounded really creepy. It's kind of a precursor to Wuthering Heights. It's, I think, a story about Heathcliff before he comes to Wuthering Heights and kind of how he became the way he was. So that should be really interesting. It looks really spooky. Then I brought Bright Young Things by Anna Godberson. This is the first book in the Bright Young Things trilogy. This has been on my list to read because of the era, even though I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any characters in it that I like, but the era will make up for it. I love the 20s. So, really looking forward to reading this whenever I get the next 2 books. Hopefully soon. And then finally, we're almost there. We're almost done with the haul. Finally, I got Seconds Away by Harlan Coben, the second book in the Mikey or Mickey? I think it's Mickey. Mickey Bullet Terror trilogy, I think it's going to be. I don't have the first one. I need to buy the first one. I will. But the second one is staring in my face, so I bought it. This is kind of like a thriller mystery type series, mostly thriller, suspense. It's a lot of fun. I like the characters and I like the premise, and just, yeah, I need to start buying it, so I started buying it. So those are all the books that I hauled this month. I still have a few that need to come in, but I don't think they're going to come in time for, by the time this video goes up, they probably will, just have come in, so they'll be part of August's haul. I think I'm expecting a couple of ARCs, and 2 other July new releases aren't coming out until, July 29, so I won't be getting those for a while. So you'll see those in August. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait until then. But I hope you all had a great book buying month. Hopefully you didn't go as crazy as I did, but I guess, life's short, buy what you love. And I will see you next month with my August book haul, and next month is also the Midsummer Renaissance Fair that I go to, so I may show you guys what I buy from there as well, because I can, and I love showing off the stuff I get at the Ren Fair. But yeah, next month's going to be a lot of fun because I'm going to be going to Powell City Books for another huge book haul, and there's a lot of new releases coming out. And there's the Ren Fair. And I'm sure I'll probably go to Half Price Books again, because I'm bad that way. But I'll see you next month with my next book haul. Actually, I'll see you sooner because I have to do my wrap-up. But I will see you next month with a different book haul, and until then, I hope you're all having a good day. Bye!